Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going to do something really cool. We're taking a single piece of red oak and turning it into this beautiful handcrafted oval picture frame. It's such a classic design and trust me, it looks amazing. I'm going to walk you through it step by step.
Okay, let's just jump right to the good part, right? This is what we're aiming for. Look at that, an elegant freestanding frame where the wood is the real star. Now, I know what you might be thinking. That looks complicated, but I promise you this is a super achievable project, and I'm going to show you exactly how.
All right, so before we even think about touching a saw, let's take a look at the blueprint and get the key details down for this elegant frame.
So here's what makes this project so great, especially if you're looking for something straightforward. It's a solid oak frame, no complex joinery, no tricky cuts. That's right, the whole thing is shaped from one single piece of wood. The final size is going to be about 5 by 7 inches, and we'll finish it off with a really nice satin polyurethane varnish.
So how long is this going to take? Well, it's a perfect weekend project, really. You're looking at a total build time of about 6, maybe 7 hours from start to finish.
Okay, let's head over to the workshop, metaphorically of course, and talk about what you'll need to get started on this build. All right, these are the power tools that are going to do the heavy lifting for us. A scroll saw or a jigsaw, you'll definitely need one of those for cutting the curves. Your router is going to be your best friend for adding those professional-looking details. And a drum sander, oh man, it'll make smoothing those curves an absolute breeze. Way faster and better than doing it by hand.
And here's what you'll need to pick up. The star of the show, of course, is a nice piece of red oak. But listen, don't skip the hardboard for your templates. That is a critical step for getting this right. The rest is just some simple, classy brass hardware that's going to look fantastic with the oak.
Okay, we've got our gear, we've got our materials, it's time to actually start making something. Let's start shaping this wood. But you know the drill, a good plan comes first.
Think of these layouts as our map. The very first thing we're going to do is transfer these shapes onto that hardboard to create some really sturdy, reusable templates. One for the frame, one for the back, and one for the stand. Seriously, this is the secret to getting those proportions absolutely perfect.
So this first part is just a simple 3-step dance. 1. Make those templates. 2. Trace them onto the oak and cut out the rough shapes. And 3. We'll hit the drum sander to smooth everything out for a perfect finish.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Using a template like this is the #1 pro tip for getting that clean, consistent oval shape. You just trace it and you're ready to cut. It completely takes the guesswork out of the equation.
Okay, next up we grab the router for 2 really important cuts. On the front side, we're going to add a 45-degree chamfer. It's just a little decorative bevel that really adds some depth and a professional touch. Then we flip the frame over and cut what's called a rabbet. It's basically just a groove that creates a little ledge for the glass in the back panel to sit inside. And here we go, you can see that chamfer cut happening right now. A handheld router with the right bit just makes this step so quick and so precise. All you need is a steady hand as you guide it along that inside edge. All right, our main frame piece is shaped and looking fantastic. Now for the really satisfying part, let's put this thing together.
I love a good exploded view like this. It just makes the construction so clear, doesn't it? You can see exactly how it works. You've got the frame, then the glass drops in, then the back panel, and finally the stand. It's just a really clean, logical stack.
And putting it together is just as straightforward. We'll use our other templates to cut out the stand and the back panel. After that, it's just a matter of installing those little brass turn buttons to hold the back in place. And the very last step, attaching the stand with a single hinge. That's it.
So here's a closer look at those final hardware details. You see the little brass turn buttons? Those are what secure your picture in the back. And then it's pretty much the same idea to attach the hinge that connects the stand to the frame. And just like that, it's a fully functional frame ready to go.
Okay, the woodworking part is officially done. High five. But we're not quite at the finish line yet. The project isn't really complete until we give it that final protective finish.
So for this project, I really recommend a satin polyurethane varnish. And here's why. It gives you fantastic protection from dust and moisture, but the sheen is soft and low gloss, so you don't get a distracting glare. It just lets that beautiful red oak grain be the star of the show.
Now, the real key to a great finish is just a little bit of patience. Before you even open the can of varnish, give the whole thing a final light sanding with 220 grit paper. You want it to feel silky smooth to the touch. Then, just apply a few light coats of varnish and make sure to sand very gently between coats. That's what gives you that professional level feel.
And there you have it.
In just a few hours, you've gone from a plain piece of wood to something really personal, totally functional, and built to last. It just goes to show you, sometimes the most straightforward techniques can create the most beautiful results.
So, with that final coat of varnish dry, our frame is officially complete. It's a gorgeous piece that's just waiting for a special photo. Which, of course, leaves me with one final question for you. What memory are you going to frame first?